If everybody can please quiet down. Just click play on it. That works still. And once again, good morning and welcome to the Committee on Finance. At this time, we ask if you can please place your phones on vibrate or silent mode. Thank you, Chair. We are ready to begin.
Thank you. Good morning and welcome to today's Finance Committee meeting. I'm Justin Brannan, council member. I have the privilege of chairing the Committee on Finance. We have been joined council members Brooks Powers, Williams, Barron, Lewis, Ayala, Althea, Stevens, Camilla Hanks, Crystal Hudson, Amanda Farias, Keith Powers, David Carr. Anybody on Zoom? Council member Moya on Zoom. The Honorable Rita Joseph. Today the committee will be voting on the following items: transparency resolution and 8 Article 11 resolutions. We'll also be hearing one bill, Intro 958A. First, the transparency resolution sets forth the new designation and changes in the designation of certain organizations receiving local aging and youth discretionary funding and funding pursuant to certain initiatives in the budget. As with all transparency resolutions, council members will have to sign a disclosure form indicating whether or not a conflict exists with any of the groups on the attached list. Any member that has a potential conflict of interest with any of the organizations listed, they have the opportunity to disclose the conflict at the time of their vote. As a reminder, please disclose any conflicts you may have with proposed subcontractors used by organizations sponsored by discretionary funding. These disclosures must be made before the subcontractor can be approved. Disclosure forms must be completed and submitted prior to the vote on the transparency resolution and may be emailed to Julius Caranda, who is also present with us today in chambers to answer any of your questions. Next, the first Article 11 is for one 40-year full exemption for a 31-unit affordable HDFC co-op in Councilmember Shawna Abreu's district. The exemption will allow the building to undergo rehabilitation as part of the Green Housing Preservation Program to improve the roof, elevator, facade, and energy efficiency of the building. The next Article 11 is one new 40-year partial exemption and 4 amendments to the existing exemptions for 4 buildings in Councilmember Ayala's district. The new exemption will support improvements through a refinancing of the site's existing HUD mortgage, while the amendments will extend the expiration date of the current exemptions to provide any gap before the new exemption takes effect. The next Article 11 is a new 35-year partial exemption for one building in Councilmember Richardson Jordan's district. The exemption will replace an existing 421A exemption set to expire in 2032 and run coterminous with the building's HDC mortgage. The final Article 11 is a new 40-year partial exemption for one building in Councilmember Brewer's district. Exemption will allow the building to enter an HPD regulatory agreement stabilizing rents in the building, will create a 10% set-aside for homeless people, perform critical and immediate work on the property, and participate in HPD's Aging in Place initiative. Finally, Intro 958A would merge the Church Avenue and Flatbush Avenue bids. It would dissolve the Church Avenue bid, expand the borders of the Flatbush Avenue bid to incorporate the service area presently covered by the Church Avenue bid, and rename the Flatbush Avenue bid to the Church Avenue Flatbush Avenue Business Improvement District. The bill would set the authorized annual expenditure amount of the combined bid at $589,000, which is the total of the current annual expenditures of the 2 separate bids, and amend the assessment method accordingly. Today's hearing was noticed by Resolution 531, which we adopted on April 11th. We will hear shortly from any witnesses who wish to testify. Once we've heard any testimony, we will then lay over the bill for at least 30 days to allow any property owner within the proposed extended area to file an objection to the bid extension with the city clerk. In the absence of objections filed either by a majority of all the impacted property owners or by the property owners owning a majority of the assessed value of the property within the proposed extended district, the committee and the full council may adopt the legislation. In order to do so, the committee and the full council must be prepared to answer the following 4 questions in the affirmative for the bid. Were all notices of hearing for all hearings required to be held, published, and mailed as so required? Does all the real property within the district's boundaries benefit from the extension of the district except as otherwise provided by law? Is all property benefited by the district included within the district? And is the extension of the district in the best interest of the public? If the committee and the full council find in the affirmative on these 4 questions and the number of objections required to prevent the extension of the bid are not filed, then the legislation of the new boundaries and the new bid name can be adopted. Additionally, the committee and the full council must determine that it is in the public interest to authorize an increase in the maximum annual expenditure amount, that the relevant tax and debt limits will not be exceeded, and that the notice of the increased proposed expenditure amount was properly published. Additional information regarding this bid item can be found in the committee report, the City Planning Commission report, and the bid's proposed district plan. Both bids are within Councilmember Rita Joseph's district, who is supportive of this legislation. I want to give my colleague, Councilmember Joseph, an opportunity to make remarks. Councilmember Joseph, do you want to make remarks?
Thank you, and thank you, Chair. Just wanted to express a few things. Expending the bid is a commendable initiative that can have significant impact. And so therefore I support the community for businesses, economic growth, enhanced collaboration, and also improve infrastructure and services by expanding the bid. There's also an opportunity for us to invest in physical infrastructure of the area. This can include beautification projects, enhance public space, improve signage, and there are so many different advantages for merging the bid. So I am in support of it. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, thank you, Councilmember. Before we proceed with the testimony from Small Business Services, we'll hold a vote on the transparency resolution and the Article 11 resolutions and those items only. Are there any comments or questions from my colleagues on these items? I will now ask Billy Martin, the committee clerk, to call the roll.
Good morning, William Martin, committee clerk. Roll call vote, Committee on Finance. Items are coupled, resolution and Article 11 items. Chair Brannan.
I vote aye.
Ayala.
Aye.
Moya.
I vote aye.
Thank you. Powers. Lewis.
I vote aye.
Brooks Powers.
Vote aye.
Barron.
I vote aye. Disclose my son worked for Brook Arts Media, Inc.
Farias. Hanks.
I vote aye.
Hudson.
Aye.
Stevens.
Aye.
Williams.
I vote aye.
Thank you. Carr.
I'd like to disclose on the record that my spouse is a student at CUNY, and CUNY is listed in the transparency resolution, and I vote aye.
Thank you. Nobody else online. Nope.
Councilmember Williams.
Yeah, just wanted to disclose that I'm a CUNY student receiving also funds from CUNY.
Humble brag, thank you.
Thank you. Vote is at 13 in the affirmative, 0 in the negative, and no abstentions.
Councilmember
Stevens.
Stevens.
I have to disclose that my daughter is a CUNY student.
Okay, everyone that voted can go, if you want. Or you'd like to stay, you can. We're going to hear from Small Business Services now. Councilmember Stevens, you have to leave.
Yeah. Testing.
Billy's breaking microphones. Okay, now we're going to hear from representatives from the Department of Small Business Services and the bids. We've got Calvin Brown, Deputy Commissioner of SBS, Lauren Collins from Church Ave, Flatbush Ave bid, and we have Fabiola Santos Garland. Gail, how do you vote?
I vote aye, thank you.
Thank you.
Vote is currently at 14.
Okay, guys, you can start when you're ready. Oh, wait, we have to swear you in first. Going rogue here.
Hi. Sir, actually, we need to swear you in. Can you raise your right hands, please? Yes. Do you affirm that your testimony will be truthful to the best of your knowledge, information, and belief, and that you will honestly and faithfully answer council member questions? Calvin Brown?
I do.
Lauren Collins?
I do.
Fabiola Santos Garland? Thank you. Please proceed.
Thank you. Good morning, Chair Brennan and members of the Finance Committee. I'm Calvin T. Brown, the Deputy Commissioner for Neighborhood Development at the Department for Small Business Services, and I'm joined by my colleagues, Emily Edward, the Executive Director for our bid team, as well as Leslie Velasquez, who's the Director of our Development and Legislation. We are here to testify in support of the extension of the Flatbush Avenue Business Improvement District in Brooklyn. At SBS, we are working hard to open up the doors for New Yorkers across the 5 boroughs, focusing on creating stronger businesses, connecting New Yorkers to good jobs, and fostering thriving neighborhoods. We believe that the vitality of the city's commercial corridor is a key part of achieving this goal, and bids have been valuable and proven partners in small business support, neighborhood revitalization, and economic development across all the 5 boroughs. City services, which by law cannot be reduced because of the extension of a bid, are only supplemented through the bid's delivery of services and improvements in their respective districts. In addition to our role overseeing and supporting the city's extension of network of 76 bids, SBS also supervises the bid formation and expansion process, serving as an advisor and resource for communities interested in developing or expanding bids. We are careful to ensure that each steering committee we work with adheres to our planning process and policies, solicit robust community input, and perform extensive outreach to collect and demonstrate broad-based support across all stakeholder groups. Moreover, we are cognizant of the unique nature of each community we assist and aim to empower local stakeholders to make determinations on proposed services, boundaries, and the budget size that best suits their community's needs, appetite, and ability to pay assessments. While we are always in
Cal, hang on a second.
Sorry.
Can we close that door? Sorry about that.
No problem. While we always impart strong planning principles and share our data and best practices across the bid network, when working with any bid formation expansion effort, we recognize that power and effective bids rest in their unmatched understanding of the local needs and issues. There are numerous benefits to the Flatbush Avenue Church Avenue bid merger. Currently, the 2 bids, which meet at the intersection of Flatbush and Church Avenues, share an administrative staff, office space, supplemental sanitation, among other programming and services. The merger will allow for a single unified organization and budget, streamlined programming, messaging, and decision-making, thus enabling the operational and cost efficiency across the organization. At this time, I'm happy to answer any questions.
No questions, sir. Go ahead.
Hello. Thank you, Chair Brannan and committee. My name is Lauren Elvers Collins. I'm the Executive Director of the Church Avenue District Management Association and the Flatbush Avenue District Management Association, doing business as the Church and Flatbush Avenue bids. I've been with Church Avenue since December 2010 and Flatbush Avenue since December 2013. I appear on behalf of both organizations to request approval of the Flatbush Avenue DMA's expansion and Church Avenue DMA's dissolution as described by SBS, leading to the formation of a combined organization to be known as the Church Avenue Flatbush Avenue Business Improvement District. The DMAs cover roughly 1.5 miles of commercial and mixed-use property on Church Avenue from Coney Island, from Coney Island Avenue to Flatbush Avenue, and on Flatbush from Parkside Avenue to Cortelyou Road. Our number of businesses constantly changes as businesses divide, but we currently have just under 500 businesses and about 280 properties. The boundaries will remain the same under the combined bid, and on April 14th, 2023, we mailed out notification about this hearing to our combined list of 1,528 businesses, property owners, and residents. In 2020, the two boards voted to merge pending board approval of the details, formed a steering committee which started meeting in April 2021, and completed the final votes in summer of 2022. This merger will be mostly administrative, codifying the way we've already been operating for several years. As Calvin mentioned, we share staff, office space, and manage most of our programs jointly. The proposed total assessment would just equal the two current assessments combined, so $203,000 plus $386,000 to bring it to $589,000. This would place us roughly in the middle of the 76 bids in New York City, with assessments ranging from $73,000 to over $20 million. Why merge? We would save staff time. We estimate that staff spend an estimated 725 hours per year doing work a second time, a second QuickBooks account, doing a second annual meeting, also economies of scale. While some costs are shared as much as possible, each bid pays for an annual audit and many other bid requirements. And lastly, we would provide a unified message. Bringing both bids under one budget and with unified decision-making will give the district more consistent programming and messaging that crosses the barriers between the two districts. The bid steering committee and boards held meetings to discuss services which would continue without any reduction, and actually we've added flexibility so we can pivot within each service area, which will apply with things like when COVID, things like that happen, where we have to move exactly what we're doing. The proposed new public-facing name would be the Church Flatbush Community Alliance, which reflects our increased work with community partners, including schools, on events and other initiatives. We have the support of our bid members, both of our community boards, 9 and 14, our council member Rita Joseph, and are grateful to council member Farrah Lewis, who spoke in favor of this proposal and who sponsored it. Thank you for your consideration, and I welcome any questions.
Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Fabiola Santos Gerlan. I'm the property owner and business owner of Honeydew Drop Childcare. We opened our business in 2005 and purchased the building in 2007. The bid has been a great support to businesses, and I think the merger is very good. It will consolidate our resources and man-hours. Since the two areas are adjacent and flow to each other, it will make the operations optimum and beneficial to the business owners. Also, the business owners can support and help each other, which is what we need in this time. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. Okay. She is? Okay. I think Councilmember Lewis is going to come in. She wanted to just make a, I guess, supportive comment. So we'll have a comment. No, don't worry. We'll have a comment from Councilmember Lewis, and then Billy will take the final vote from Councilmember Velasquez.
Good morning. Thank you, Chair, for holding up for me. After many conversations with community leaders in the last 3 years and overwhelming support of Community Board 14, I'm also expressing my support of the proposed expansion of Flatbush Avenue Improvement District to include the Church Avenue District Management Association and rename it the Church Avenue Flatbush Avenue Business Improvement District. The Church Avenue District Management Association actually falls in the confines, excuse me, of the 45th district, while Flatbush mostly takes up the 40th district. So I just wanted to clarify that for the record. Bids are critical to local economic growth, and they help create a sense of identity in our communities. With this proposal, we'll be consolidating the Church Avenue and Flatbush Business Improvement Districts and expanding their boundaries. By merging these two bids, the business owners and staff can unify and collaborate in a more cohesive manner to achieve greater successes. These two bids have already been working together for years, including sharing staff, so the merger administratively and officially recognizes the existing synergy of these two districts. I'm always acutely concerned about the level of outreach conducted when changes are being proposed in a community. So with that said, the outreach for awareness done by the BIDS has been excellent. It's been shared with me, and the BIDS have been attending community board meetings and collaborating with elected officials. As you've heard earlier, Councilmember Rita Joseph was here. Our local community boards and block associations have been collaborating with these BIDS as well. To absorb community sentiment has been paramount, which has mostly been overwhelming positive support, as Lauren probably shared in her testimony earlier. So I look forward to supporting this bid moving forward. And thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Councilmember. Councilmember Velasquez, how do you vote?
Okay, I'd like to disclose my husband is a deputy commissioner for DEP and my brother is a board member for Samaritans of New York, and aye on all. Thank you.
Thank you. The vote is currently at 15 in the affirmative.
Okay, you guys can go if you want. We just got to leave it open for some more votes. Congratulations. Thank you.
So much.
Thanks, guys.